Good morning, students. The topic of today's class is odontoma, that is a mixed odontogenic tumor composed of epithelial as well as mesenchymal components. Broca first coined the term odontoma in 1867, and later Thoma and Goldman narrowed the term odontoma to include tumors that were composed of well differentiated tooth structures that could be enamel, dentin, or even cementum. Odontomas are most frequently occurring odontogenic tumors with a prevalence exceeding that of all other odontogenic tumors combined. Even though the odontogenic tumors like ameloblastoma are more common, so odontomas are said to be even more commoner than the ameloblastomas according to the literature. This lesion is considered to be not as a true neoplasm, but rather it is considered as an odontogenic hamartoma, that is developmental malformation of the odontogenic apparatus. Now, odontoma simply means a growth in which both the epithelial and mesenchymal components exhibits complete differentiation, ultimately forming functional ameloblast and functional odontoblast and their products enamel and dentin respectively. These odontomas are often associated with either impacted tooth or retained deciduous tooth sometimes. The extraneous bud, that is the extra bud of the dental lamina, is considered to be the possible tissue of origin of odontomas. Now let us see about the etiology. There are many factors which are considered as a possible etiological factors in the origin of odontomas. The first one being trauma during primary dentition, that is trauma to the primary tooth, any kind of inflammatory or infectious processes occurring in the jaws, then remnants of dental lamina, that is rest of serrae, or presence of any family history, then anomalies which are hereditary in nature, including Hermann's and Gardner's syndrome, hyperactivity of odontoblast cells, or even genetic alterations. Since the lesion is composed of more than one type of tissue, hence these odontomas are also called as composite odontomas. Now these composite odontomas are of two types. One is compound composite odontoma, other one is complex composite odontoma. Now compound composite odontoma term is used when the tumor is composed of multiple small tooth-like malformed structures within the tumor. And complex odontoma term is used when there are conglomerate masses of enamel and dentin, but which bear no any resemblance to that of a tooth. Simply they are aggregates of calcified masses. Now let us see these individual odontomas. Now the compound odontoma is most commonly diagnosed in the second decade of life, having equal gender predilection, and in terms of site, maxillary anterior region is the most predominant site, followed by posterior maxilla. Now frequency of occurrence of these compound odontoma is 9 to 37% among all the odontomas, which is slightly more than that of the complex odontomas. And in terms of the site of occurrence, whether it is compound or complex, both the tumors tend to occur most frequently on the right side of the jaws. Now presentation, how does it present? It presents as a painless, non-aggressive lesion with a limited growth potential when compared to that of the complex odontoma, usually associated with an unerupted permanent tooth. Whereas complex odontomas are most commonly diagnosed in the third decade of life with equal gender predilection, and here the site being posterior mandible, which is most common, followed by maxillary anterior. Frequency is 5 to 30%, which is less when compared to that of the compound odontoma. And here also the side of occurrence is predominantly right side of the jaws when compared to left side. Now this also present as a painless, slow growing but expansile in nature, which is opposite with that of the compound odontoma, which having just limited growth potential, whereas complex odontomas are having expansile properties. So this complex odontoma is also associated with an unerupted permanent tooth. Apart from this maxilla and mandible, the other sites of occurrence of these odontomas are maxillary sinus, nasal cavity and floor of the orbit. Usually they are commonly seen in permanent dentition and very rarely reported in association with the primary teeth. They are usually smaller in size, which seldom exceeds the size of a normal tooth. There are some cases where there are larger odontomas which may be extending up to the 6 centimeters in diameter. So these lesions cause expansion of bone, ultimately resulting in facial asymmetry, and in particular these larger odontomas may be associated with a developing dentigerous cyst. So such lesions are usually larger in size, otherwise they are usually smaller. And most of these cases are asymptomatic and discovered during routine radiographic examination. Now radiologically, the compound odontoma presents as a collection of small radio-opaque malformed teeth or tooth-like structures or denticles of varying sizes surrounded by a narrow or a thin radiolucent zone. Whereas complex odontomas, it is also a unilocular lesion, but the central opacities appear as an amorphous mass rather than tooth-like structures. So this central area may have the density of tooth structure, that is the opacity is similar to that of the tooth structure, but they does not resemble a tooth structure, just simply they are amorphous mass of calcified structures. Now an early lesion, that is a very early developing odontomas, may just simply appear as a well circumscribed radiolucency with very little calcified mass that may or may not be seen within the lesion. Now in this picture A showing the compound odontoma having the central opacities, that is described as tooth-like malformed structures surrounded by a radiolucent rim, whereas in the complex odontoma this is also surrounded by a radiolucent rim having central radiopacities but not resembling tooth-like structures, just simply amorphous mass of calcified material. And this is the surgical specimen of the compound odontoma showing multiple malformed tooth-like structures of varying sizes. Histologically, the compound odontomas present with miniature single-rooted teeth that are embedded in a fibrous connective tissue stroma, that is fibrous connective tissue background. In the foreground you have all these multiple miniature single-rooted or malformed tooth-like structures. Now in this, enamel of the crown is often lost during decalcification and appears as a cystic space frequently containing only fragment of enamel matrix. So in the process of preparation of this histological preparation of this tissue, that is decalcified sections, enamel being highly composed of inorganic material is lost during the decalcification process, and histologically only a gap containing the enamel structure is seen, that is it is seen as an empty space in the decalcified section. So then pulp tissue may also be seen in these tooth-like structures, but early lesions may show structures resembling tooth germs. So differentiated lesions may show the structures resembling enamel, dentin or pulp, but whereas very early lesions may show structures resembling tooth germs, that is stellate, reticulum, stratum, intermedium, inner and outer enamel, epithelium, etc. like that. Then complex odontoma shows sheets of immature tubular dentin with encased hollow spaces that earlier contained enamel. Here also very little enamel matrix or immature form of enamel might be seen. Now another feature of this complex odontoma is ghost cells are often seen in 20% of these odontomas. So these ghost cells act as a nidus for dystrophic calcification, that is calcifications occurring within the dead tissues. Then apart from this, a thin layer of cementum may also be sometimes seen surrounding these calcified structures. Now here if you see the compound odontoma showing the very variable structures, like this is the follicular epithelium, black arrow, and blue arrow showing the remnants of enamel matrix. Otherwise you can see here it is most of the areas it is empty, and this is the dentin and this is the pulp. This is a decalcified section. Even this is also decalcified section, but not like a tooth, just simply masses of calcified tissues. Now in this we can see this area represents the immature enamel, this black arrow represents the mature enamel, and these pink areas which are representative of dentin, but this does not resemble a tooth. Then treatment, simple surgical enucleation is enough for these odontomas, and the prognosis is considered to be excellent because of very rare chances of recurrence. Those are for the normal or small sized odontomas, but for large sized odontomas which have the expansile properties, the careful considerations to be given during surgical removal because of the thinning of cortical plates. So because of this expansion properties, there are utmost chances of the fracture of cortical plates. Hence a careful surgical intervention to be done during the removal of larger odontomas in order to prevent the fracture of the cortical plates, could be buccal or lingual. That is about the treatment. So this is about the odontomas, complex and composite. Thank you.